Welcome back, guys. We were discussing 2017 ethics paper. One video, in the first video we have covered the section A, and in the second video we are going to cover the section B. Section B consists case studies. So let's get into the discussion of this section B, and we are going to follow the same pattern what we were following in the previous year's question paper discussion with respect to case studies. That is, I am going to display the question here and I'll give you some time, or you can pause the video and you can go through with the question. Then we are going to solve the case studies, right? So go through with the question. Here it is, the go through with it, and I'll come back and I'll explain the case study. Here the case study is that you are a civil servant, you are an honest and responsible civil servant. So here there are some observations have been given, 4 observations have been given, and what you have to do is, you are a honest civil servant and you have to give your opinion and you have to give your merit and demerit to these observations. 4 statements have been given and you have to write merits and demerits to these 4 statements. That is the case study here. So let's see, let's take one by one. The first statement, here there is a general perception that adhering to ethical conduct, one may face difficulties to oneself and cause problem for the family, whereas unfair practices may help to reach the career goals. In a simple terms, if you are corrupt, if you follow unfair practices, then it is easier for you in your career advancement. If you are honest, then it is going to impact you. Not only it is going to impact you, this is going to create trouble for your family also. So this is what it has been mentioned. This is what the first observation is. Now you have to write merits and demerits for this observation. What are the merits here? See, issue here is unfair practices. So you have to write merit, you have to demerit here. So what is the merit here? If you are corrupt, if you follow unfair practices, the first and foremost aspect is there are personal benefits. There is personal benefits include financial benefits, and it includes even job wise, whether it is transfer, whether it is with respect to posting, whether it is with respect to promotion, there is a personal advantages. So there are personal financial benefits, career advancement if you follow unfair practices. This is one merit. And the second merit is, see, if you are honest, usually if a people around you they are dishonest, the kind of conflict happens. If you follow unfair practices, you can adjust some things, you can adjust few things, so you can avoid conflict in the work environment, in your office, in your organization, and also confrontation. Conflicts and confrontations can be avoided if you follow unfair practices, because unfair practices, you are already compromising with your values, so you do one more compromise at your work environment, that is conflict and confrontation. So this is merit. So easier work culture, easier work environment, this is also a merit. And the third merit is there will be a political patronage. So political leaders, they are going to support, there will be support from their side, so that is going to help you in your transfers, that is going to help you in your posting. So one thing, when there is a political patronage, the posting will be good and career advancement will be there, and there will be family stability also. So family stability, that most probably you will get postings in a metropolitan cities, and when you think of your children education and all, this is going to be very push factor, it is going to be an added advantage for your family. So these are merits. Then what are the demerits here? See, the main demerit here is you have taken an oath, your oath is with respect to public welfare, but what you doing here, you are following unfair practices. It is the public interest, it is not the it is the private interest over the public interest. So it goes against the core philosophy of administration, public administration. You are a civil servant, you have to support the democratic ethos, democratic ideals, constitutional morality. So you are compromising with these morals, with this philosophy, and there is an erosion of public trust. So you are responsible to maintain that public trust, you being an intermediate between the political executive and the citizen of the country. In between you are there. So the erosion of public trust happens here. And the institutional integrity, you are compromising with rules and regulation, the loss of institutional integrity, it is also very much visible. And finally, now you're getting easy promotions, you're getting easy placements, and everything is based on your political connection, your unfair practices. Somewhere hard work, the value of discipline, the value of punctuality, the efficiency, everything is compromised for your immorality. So immorality is compromising efficiency, it is compromising hard work. Right? These are merits and demerits. Let's see the next observation. And the next observation is that when the number of people adopting unfair means is large and a small minority having a penchant towards ethical means make no difference. In a simple terms, most of the people are corrupt in a system. If very few people, if they are honest and if they have the value of integrity, it does not make any sense. So this is the thing. It means that somewhere most of the people are corrupt, so let me be corrupt also. So what difference does it make? So this is what it is. This observation is talking about. Let's see the merits and demerits. What are the merits here? See, merit is that everybody, majority is corrupt here. So there is some kind of confidence. Everybody is corrupt, so I am also corrupt. So when majority of people are doing this, you get that support also. That support your activity, support your conduct is there. So one thing, it provides confidence, and there is an acceptance factor. Since all of them, people around you, they are corrupt, there is an acceptance. You are also corrupt, they are also corrupt, the acceptance factor is there. So acceptance factor is there, this is one thing. And majority of them are involved in unfair practices, so this gives indirect support to the conduct. It has created an social apathy with respect to corruption, social apathy with respect to unfair practices. So this is merit, you get the confidence and everybody is doing, somewhere acceptance factor is there. If there is a social boycott of a person who is following unfair practices, then nobody is going to do it. They are afraid of what is going to happen at the society. So if there is no this kind of social boycott or social pressure, then there is a confidence. I don't care. Now there is an acceptance factor, people are accepting me, people are respecting me, I am making money, my career is fine, my family is good, then why do I stop all these things? So the acceptance factor and confidence, these are the merits. And what are the demerits here? Demerits here is that observation telling that there are certain section of honest people are also there, that is they are minority. Majority are doing some unfair practices. Again, it tells that if you are into unfair practices, if you are not honest, if you are dishonest, then you lack moral courage. You don't have moral courage and you are compromising with the rules, you are compromising with the regulation. So lack of moral courage and fortitude to question unethical means. Of course, take an example of 80-20 only. 80% are corrupt, 20% are non-corrupt. These are honest people. See, if you have honesty, if you have that moral courage, you belong to this group and you are going to question them. Now you don't have moral courage, you don't want to question anybody, you start following unfair practices, and again this is lack of moral courage, lack of fortitude, and because of this you are not going to question unethical practices. This is demerit. Another demerit is already you don't have these values, you are just using this argument as a blanket. You want to protect yourself. In order to protect yourself, you are giving this argument. See, moral bankruptcy is there. You don't have the moral values, and you are validating your moral bankruptcy by giving this statement that majority of them are corrupt. So validating your moral bankruptcy, and you have certain social responsibility, and you are rejecting your social responsibility here. So you are rejecting the social responsibility, that is demerit. And again, if you are corrupt, it is you are compromising with your dignity, you are compromising with your reputation. So here damage to personal dignity and reputation, this is demerit. Now let's see the third observation. Third observation is sticking to ethical means is detrimental to the larger developmental goals. So this is another observation. It means that if I am following all fair means, if I am honest to the core, if I am following the value of integrity, so this is going to obstruct the larger developmental goals. If I am dishonest, it is easier to achieve the developmental goals. This is the another observation. Again, merit and demerit. What are the merits here? Merit is that it avoids crisis of conscience. Crisis of conscience at the base level, my conscience know that if I am correct, my conscience tells you that this is wrong, you should not do it. One side conscience is telling one thing, another side you are involved in all unfair practices. So the tussle is going on inside your head, the crisis of conscience, the cognitive dissonance is happening. But if you accept this statement, then you can get rid of crisis of conscience. How are you going to get rid of crisis of conscience? That you know that because I am corrupt, because of my corrupt activity, it is leading to the development of the country. See, this is what the statement it is. I am doing unfair practices. This unfair practice itself is leading to the development. So the crisis, you have removed it. So you have rationalized your unfair practices. You have rationalized your unethical means. So rationalizing dishonesty and immoral conduct, and this has removed the crisis of conscience. This has removed the cognitive dissonance. Merit, then the demerit. Demerit is that you have given this statement, there is no valid proof to that statement. You are just giving that statement just to substantiate your immoral conduct, just to validate your moral bankruptcy. So there is no valid proof, one thing, and most of these statements, these are hypothetical in nature. See, no matter what, if you are honest, if you have the value of integrity, if you are truthful, if you are trustworthy, you will follow these values no matter what. Even if 100 people, even 99% are dishonest, if you have very strong values, you will be honest. But here what happens, all these hypothetical situation, there is no valid proof is there. You are just giving these things just to validate your unethical practices here, and it undermines fairness, justice, equity, and there is no accountability. All these values are going to be compromised if you give these kind of observation, if you support these kind of statements. And finally, culture of expectation, it is going to increase in administration. It means that you are sticking unethical practices here, you are sticking unfair practices here. It means that you want some, even if I say I am a common citizen, I want to have a income certificate, I go to the Tahsildar office, and there they are expecting something. So the culture of expectation increases if you support these statements. So culture of expectation increases and there will be no social equity. This is demerit. And finally, we have one more observation, that is, while one may not involve oneself in a large unethical practices, but giving and accepting small gifts makes the system more efficient. Somewhere it is telling that taking bigger bribes, bigger amount of bribes or the gift, they are unethical, but small gratifications, small gift, small amount of money, this is fine, this is acceptable. This is the fourth statement. Again, let's see merits and demerits. What are the merits here? It might act as an incentive, the smaller gift, so act as an incentive, and it might motivate people in the administration to work. Okay, this is one merit. And second merit is, because of this I have received a gift from a person, now I am obligated to that person to do his work. Somewhere it is reducing the bureaucratic hurdles, bureaucratic red tapeism can be reduced with these kind of small gifts. This is one thing. And also faster clearing of files. So there will be a motivating factor, gift will be a motivating factor, gift will be an incentive. Because of this there is a faster clearance. Because of this faster clearance, reducing the bureaucratic delays, bureaucratic obstacles. So these are merits. And what is the demerit here? Demerit is that you are receiving a gift, this goes against the code of conduct. Code of conduct, code of ethics very precisely mentioned that you are not supposed to take gifts or any these kind of things from a people, from anybody. So it goes against the code of conduct. So this will lead to the unsustainable practice in a long term. If everybody is expecting gift, small gift, again this is going to create culture of expectations. So this is going to compromise with the code of conduct. It is unsustainable for an organization, unsustainable for administration in a longer run, right? And it is, now the thing is, it is talking about small gift. Now how do you draw the line? What is the small gift, what is the big gift? For a group D employee, small gift is something. For a group A employee, for a IAS officer, small gift is something else. So the differentiation, where do you draw line? Again, for a one person, small gift is something else, maybe a 1000 rupees. For another person, small gift is maybe iPhone. See, you cannot decide these kind of things, and there is no strategy or there is no guideline to draw a line here. Again, it will lead to unsustainable practices in an administration overall. So it leads to social injustice, and it is another way of normalization of corruption. Again, this goes against the welfare of the people, this goes against the social equality, this goes against the social justice. So these are the merits and demerits. So ultimately, after going through with all these observations, what should be your point of view? My point of view is that I have taken an oath as a civil servant. My commitment is towards the country. My commitment is towards the people of India. So I am not going to compromise. This is one thing. there is a commitment, there is a dedication towards, I will fulfill it. Another thing is there are a lot of discretionary places, discretionary powers I have. So how do you deal with this discretionary power? I will stick on to foundational values of truth, honesty, all these things, public trust. I will stick on to these values. So wherever law is applicable, I will follow the law, I will follow the legal aspect, and wherever the discretionary powers are there I am going to implement foundational values. So this is how I work as a civil servant. I am a honest civil servant, and this is going to be my honestness I am going to implement in the services, right? So let's move to the next case study. Again, pause this, go through with the question, and I'll be back. So what exactly this case study is talking about? See, you are aspiring to become an IAS officer. So you have cleared prelims, you have cleared mains, now you have selected for an interview, and you are going for an interview, and in that road you have seen an accident, and in that accident a mother and the child, they are injured there, and you got to know that they are your relatives, they are your family members. Now how do you handle it? One side there is an interview you have to attend, because that is your aspiration, you want to become an IAS officer, so interview is there, you have to attend. Another side there are your relatives, they have been injured in an accident, the mother and the child. Now what do you do it? So here first you have to write the stakeholders. For every case study write the stakeholders, and then you write the, if there are any dilemmas, ethical dilemmas, you mention those dilemmas also. So here what are the dilemmas here? One side there is a aspirations, you want to achieve something, there is an achievement drive, there is an aspiration. So one side there is an aspiration, career aspiration, another side there is a compassion. So compassion, that they have met with accident and you have to take care of them, that genuine intention to help them, so compassion. And one side there is your dream, you want to become a IAS officer, you want to serve the people, that is one side. Another side there is a family and or social responsibility, you have to take care of your family because they are your family members and you have that responsibility to care for their life. So that again the tussle, the dilemma is there between your dream and the social responsibility or familial responsibilities. So these are the ethical values. Now the question is, how do you deal with this particular situation? So what do you do? The question is, what would you have done in this such a situation and justify your action? So what do you do? See, first and foremost thing is, life of a person, life of a human being, it has a very huge value. I have career aspiration, I understand, I have worked for it, but at the same time this is with respect to life of a mother and child. So I have this responsibility here. Moreover, they are my family members. I have to take care of this situation. My first response is I have to take them to the hospital. Either I have to call the ambulance or I have to make an alternative arrangement to take them to the hospital. And once I go to the hospital, I have to fulfill all the formalities. I have to pay the hospital bill, everything. Then I will call the family members that this is what happens. You have to come here. So this is my first step. Next step is, if it is not late, I will go to the venue. I will go to my UPSC interview. If it's already late, I will call and I will explain what exactly happened, or else I will mail them along with the call. I will also mail them. I will also take the acknowledgement letter from the hospital also, yes I was there, and I will attach that. I will send it to the UPSC official, their mail. So this is what I am going to do, this is what I can do, this is what in my hand. See, I cannot leave them on street, I cannot go and attend the interview, this is very inhuman and this goes against my value system, I cannot do it. And once I go there, I have informed my family, so family members, they will come and they will take care of it, and I have paid the money also. So somewhere the mother and child who are in hospital, they will be taken care of. But if it's not late, I will go to interview. If it's late, I will inform them, then I will go to the interview spot. So this is the thing I will do at this point of time. Now I have to give the justification. What is the justification here? Justification is that, see, I cannot compromise with the life of a human being. And here there are two lives. One thing, I have a family responsibility. These are my family members. I have to protect them. I have to take care of them because it is their life. One side it is an interview. Even without an interview, still can live. I still can survive. But without the medical treatment, they cannot survive. So when it comes to the priority goes to the life of this mother and child. And also, one side it is a family, another side I am a social being, I am a citizen of the country, I have certain social responsibility. Here I have to fulfill my social responsibility. See, even after attending interview, I am not very sure of clearing this because it is based on performance of other candidates also. So somewhere I am not sure, there is no 100% sure of clearing this examination. So here I am taking a risk, but here if I go and save them, if I admit them to the hospital, chances of survival is very high. I can save them. So another thing is interview. Even if I lose this interview, next year I can write the examination again. Even if it is my last attempt, I can write the state examination also. I have alternatives. I can achieve something even without this examination also. I can give back to society some or other way. Even being a teacher, I can do my part. I can give my contribution to the society. So there is a possibility. So I cannot compromise this interview. In the name of interview, I cannot compromise the lives of a mother and the child. This is one thing. And the second thing is, see, even if I want to become an IAS officer, I am aspiring to become an IAS officer. And what are the qualities of IAS officer? It is the compassion and it is the empathy. I am not getting very exact. Yes, there is even if I am an IAS officer, I need to have these values of compassion and empathy. And here there is a real life situation, and in this real life situation, if I am not showing this compassion and empathy, I don't think I will show it even when I become an IAS officer, because my personal values, they are going to replicate in my professional conduct also. So if I don't compassion and empathy for my own family members, don't expect the same compassion and empathy for some other third person, some other citizens of the country. It is not going to happen. So this is the real test of my character. So failing here, it does not make any sense. Even if I become an IAS officer, by not taking care of my family members, by not fulfilling my family responsibility, by not fulfilling my social responsibility, this is a clear test of my character. I don't fit to be in a civil servant. So for these reasons, giving them medical treatment, medical attention, and their lives becomes first priority in my journey. And finally, see, entire situation, I am taking a decision based on one approach, that is duty based approach, deontological approach. Here my duty is towards saving of these people. So there is an ethical dilemma. Now I have to make a decision, and I am making decision based on duty based approach, right? So this is the justification, course of action, justification, right? Let's go to the next case studies. Again, pause the video, go through with a question. I'll come back and I'll explain the case study. So the next case study, here you are a head of human resource department, so you have this authority, and one of the workers in your company, in your organization, has died, and after proper inquiry you got to know that the person was drunk while he was working, he was drunk. So but the other workers, they are asking for compensation. So this is the situation. You are a HR and one of the workers died. The other employees in the organization, they are asking for compensation, but after conducting inquiry you got to know that the person was drunk while he was working, he was drunk. Now the management is asking your opinion that what should we do. Now you are HR, now you are going to give the suggestions, you are going to give the recommendations to the management. Now the question is, what recommendation would you provide to the management, and discuss the merits and demerits of each of your recommendations. What are the recommendations you give, and also write the merits and demerits of each of these recommendations, right? Let's see the recommendation. The first recommendation, as a HR, what are you going to do? See, I am a HR here. What the recommendation I am going to do? The first recommendation is that, see, follow the legal aspect. Whatever the legal aspects are there, you follow the legal aspect. And you got to know that the person was drunk. Now what you should do is, you should place these reports in front of others. You place these reports, these are authentic legal reports, you place in front of the organization, especially people working in the organization, they are going to understand the situation is. Follow all the legal procedures. So all the I'm HR, I'm giving this advice to the management. Follow all the legal procedures, collect the evidence of being drunk at the work. This worker has been died at the work and he was drunk. Collect this evidence, collect the reports and place it in front of the company. So, and inform the workers about the legal aspect of the incident. So, workers are asking for compensation. Now, inform them what exactly the legal report is telling that. So, this is my recommendation. Merits and demerits. What is the first merit? First merit is that you are providing correct information to the people, to the employees here. So, you are providing correct information, and see, this correct information is very much needed at this point of time. Somewhere these workers are very quite emotional at this point of time. This legal information, it is going to clarify whatever the doubts they have. So providing correct information regarding situation to the workers. The second thing is, since you are following every legal procedures, so you are following the rule of law. You are not compromising with any aspect of rule of law. These are merits. And what are the demerits here? Demerits is that the workers might think that company is manipulating them. See, we are asking for compensation. Company don't want to give the compensation. That is the reason they are doing this. So some kind of mistrust or kind of doubtfulness that might arise in the work environment. So this is going to impact the workers' cost to grant family compensation. That is one thing. So obviously he is drunk, he is wrong here. So this is going to impact family to get the compensation. The worker who has died, his family to get the compensation. This is one thing, because legally they are not bound to give now. And the second thing is, worker might see this as a company manipulation. They might feel like company is manipulating because company want to give that compensation and company don't want to give at this point of time. That is the reason company is manipulating. So this is merit for the first recommendation. And the next recommendation is that compensation can be rejected. It can be, I am not telling that completely rejected, it can be rejected, but you need to consider the emotional aspect of other workers also. That is also very much important. See, even whether it is organization, company, administration, it works with the help of all these employees, all these workers in the organization. If they don't have this emotional connecting, the emotional bond with the work environment, the efficiency is going to suffer. So here compensation can be rejected on legal basis. On legal basis it can be rejected, but we need to keep in mind the emotions of workers also. That aspect also be taken into the consideration. There are two merits and demerits. Let's see the merit here. Merit is that, see, you are considering emotions of the workers. When you are considering emotions of the workers, it means that you are empathetic. So it means that you are showing the value of emotional intelligence. So you are empathetic towards the family of the employees, and act of emotional intelligence is also very much visible here, and it is good for the reputation of the company. If you are considering their emotions, you are not only focusing on their efficiency, you are focusing on their emotions also. You want emotional well-being of your workers. So this is good for the company. This is going to enhance the reputation of the company. This is merit. And what is demerit? Demerit is that, see, emotion, what exactly their emotion? Their emotion is compensation. So you have to give the compensation. Here it will be a financial burden on the company. So my care for my workers, I am really worried about the emotional well-being of my worker. So how do I ease out the issue here? By giving compensation. So here caring for emotion will lead to the financial burden. This is the demerit. And the second demerit is that somewhere it can act as a pressure tactics. Here you know that the worker was drunk, because he was drunk he died here. So there is no company's mistake here. But here you are considering compensation, you are considering to give compensation, and it is like workers, they are pressurizing you in an emotional way. This is like emotional pressuring, and you are yielding for this pressure tactics. So this is demerit. Now the third recommendation I am going to give. The third recommendation is that if any of the family members have necessary qualification, organization can offer a job. See, now the worker has been died. Now compensation we are considering whether to give, whether or not, in the second point. In the third point, what I suggest is, see, if any of the family members have the necessary qualification, offer that person a job. see, we have lost one worker, we need another worker to fulfill that position. So why not the same family member if the person has the necessary qualification? This is one thing. If not, if none of the family members have this qualification, then you can give compensation based on humanitarian criteria, not as a compensation. You are giving a financial aid on a humanitarian basis, maybe family welfare fund. As a family welfare fund, you are going to help the family there, right? See, by offering this option, the merit is that you are upholding the values of compassion and empathy. You are showing that compassion. See, either you are offering the job to one of the family members, if they don't have the necessary qualification, you are ready to give the financial aid as on the humanitarian basis. So this is the third recommendation. Merit is that this is going to showcase the compassion and empathy aspect of the company, right? That is one thing. And the second thing is, the family members are going to get that moral support, family members are going to get that financial support. Then what are the demerits here? Demerit is that, see, company has no obligation here, company is not wrong here, but still company is giving the financial aid here. So here economic obligation on the company without its mistake. So this is one demerit. And another demerit here is, see, this is one particular case. If the organization is very small, it is fine. What about the organization, the pan India organization? Think that maybe around 50,000 people, they are working in a different company outlets. Then how do you handle it? See, you cannot apply subjectivity in each and every case. This is not right, this is not a good approach. You need to have a standard, you need to take decision based on the objectivity. So this is another demerit here. Subjective decision based on individual cases, it is not a good approach, right? These are the demerits. And the next recommendation is that set the necessary guidelines in future. If similar incident happens, how do you deal with it? You need to have certain standard, you need to have certain procedures, formal procedures, certain guidelines. You need to set these guidelines to deal with these kind of incidents in future. And what are the merits here? Merit is that you have a clear rules, you have clear regulations. So next time the similar incident happens, then you follow the rules and regulation. And also even the workers are also convinced that yes, there are guidelines. If similar thing happens, next time we cannot force or we cannot direct company to give the compensation. And also this acts as a warning to other workers also, that you are not supposed to drink and you are not supposed to come to the work. So there is a warning factor is also there here. So clear rules and guidelines for the future conduct, that is going to be a merit. And also it is going to set accountability and transparency factor also. So next time the similar incident happens, we are going to do it. So everything is transparent, there is an accountability factor, it has been explained, right? Then what are the demerit? Demerit look like it is very rigid and it is very inflexible. There is an inflexibility factor towards workers. So this is with respect to the fourth recommendation. There are 4 recommendations and we discussed merits and demerits of these 4 recommendations, right? So let's go to the next case study. Pause it and go through with the case study, and I'll be back and I'll explain the options. So this case study, you are a manager of a company A, and you want to have a deal with another company, that is company B. So you are having that communication with the manager of company B. So you are a manager of company A and you are having that conversation with manager of company B, and you want to have that deal. That deal is very much necessary for the future of your company. So this is the situation. Now you both go for a dinner to finalize the deal. Now after the dinner, you and you are a manager of company A and there is a manager of company B. The manager of the company B is driving a vehicle and he lost the control and there is an accident, and the person who has been injured very badly because of this accident. Now the law enforcement agencies, they have entered the situation. Now this is a situation and your role play very important you play very important role in this situation, because you know who is at fault. You know that manager of the company B is the fault here. He lost the control, because of him accident happens. So this is the situation. Now the question is, what are the dilemmas you face at this situation, and what will be your response to this situation? Right now, what are the dilemmas you face? The first and foremost dilemma, one side there is a company's future, another side there is a social responsibility. I have certain social responsibility. See, company's future is that this deal is very much important for the company's future, and there are so many people dependent on the company. There are so many, their employment opportunities are, and their financial securities are dependent on this company. So without this deal, it is going to impact the company's future, and I am the manager, I have this responsibility. Another side, I have a social responsibility. A person, he has been injured because of irresponsibleness of this manager, and now he has to take that responsibility, and I have certain responsibility towards the society. Now one side it is company's future, another side it is my social responsibility. This is one dilemma. And the second dilemma is justice versus professional commitment. I am a manager of company A, I have that certain commitment, I have committed towards betterment of this company. So I am a manager, I have that obligation to give my 100% and to make sure that company works in a better condition. It means I have to give everything to make company's future secure. Here one side I have that professional commitment towards the company A, and another side there is a justice. There is a victim here, and he has been injured because of negligence or irresponsibility of this manager. Now which stand I am going to take? See, if I tell something against the manager B, then he is not going to give the this particular contract, and without this contract this is going to impact the company, and I have that commitment. Being a manager, my priority is to get that contract, but even giving my statement against the manager B, company is not going to get the contract. So there is a professional commitment one side, another side there is a justice. Again there is a dilemma here. And the third dilemma is that one side, if I get this contract, most probably I might get that career advancement. People in my company are going to appreciate me, management it is going to appreciate me, they are going to make money, they are going to make profit. In turn, company's future will be bright. So career advancement will be there for me at one side. Another side, I have certain value system, and it is going to compromise. If I lie to the law enforcement agencies, I am compromising my value system. So personal conscience one side, and the career advancement another side. So these are the three ethical dilemmas I am facing here. Now the next question is, how do you deal with the dilemma here? See, what I think is that in this kind of situation, never compromise with your value system. You have certain value system, no matter whatever the consequences, don't compromise with your value system. If you are honest, be honest. If you have the value of integrity, show that integrity. If you are truthful, show that value system. So you have certain value system, stick on to this value system. This is one thing. Second thing is, there is legal aspect is also involved in this situation. So don't compromise, never manipulate this legal aspect, because you never know that in future it is going to trouble you, it might trouble you. So see, you are not only don't think that you will be the only one who is a evidence here. There are chances that there are other people who might have seen what exactly happened. So never manipulate the legal aspect, don't compromise with the legal aspect. One thing, you are not compromising with ethical aspect, you are not compromising with legal aspect. By doing this, you can handle the dilemma. And the final thing is, whenever you are in dilemma, you have to make a decision, you have to take a next action. So here my suggestion will be focused on virtue based approach. The next step you take based on the virtue. What are virtues are the values. You take step based on your value system. So by doing this, you can eliminate these dilemmas, right? So this is how to address this dilemma. And finally, what will be your response to this particular situation? So response will be, the first and foremost thing is, the person has been injured and immediate medical treatment, that is the priority. So you have to give the necessary medical treatment to that person. So person has been injured, provide the necessary medical treatment. This is the first thing. And the second thing is, next step, you have to persuade the manager. You know that manager is the responsible for this. You have to persuade them that this is not right, and make him apologize to the victim here. See, here it has been mentioned that victim has met with accident. It does not mean that he is at the deathbed. It does not mean that there is an extremely serious injury. So you can apologize to him, and there might be negotiation, and there is a possibility of compensation also. So these are the response. And finally, if a law enforcement agencies wants your statement, want your support, you be honest. So whatever you saw, you just tell them, you be honest. Don't think of your company future, all these things. Follow the virtue based approach here. Your decision, your actions are based on the values, your actions are based on virtues, right? So this is your response. Let's move to the next case study. Pause the case study and I'll be back. So the next case study, here the situation is that in a particular area, the law permits for a building, construction of building, it is a 3-floor permitted code of a permitted building code, it prescribes only 3 floors. But here in this circumstance, there is a builder who is building a particular building, and he is constructing 6 floors, and because of some mishappenings, here the building collapsed, and few construction workers, they have lost their lives. It includes women and the children also. Now the case study is that law permits only 3 floors, but a builder, he is constructing 6 floors, and because of something the building collapses, and this collapse, the event of this collapse, it leads to the death of the construction workers. It includes women and the children. So this is the situation. Now what do you think is the reasons behind these kind of incident? It is not the first incident, these kind of incidents are happening, and why do you think so? What are the reasons? Give reasons for such incident take place across the country and suggest the measures to prevent their occurrence. So this is the question. Now first you have to give the reasons, and finally you have to give some solutions also, measures also. So let's see the reasons behind it. The first and foremost reason is that weak enforcement of the law. Laws are there, enforcement is not proper. There is a weak enforcement. This is one thing. One side, enforcement from the government is weak. Another side, complaints from the people. Even at the society, we have to follow the law. We have to accept it, and it is our obligation to follow this law. There is weak enforcement from one side. Another side, there is non-compliance. So weak enforcement of rules and non-compliance with regulation. And the next aspect is, there is a corruption. Administration knows that the breaking of law is happening, but they are not taking any action because corruption. And this corruption is due to integrity, lack of honesty, lack of integrity. Right? And then comes, as a community, we also have a certain response. We know that this builder is constructing this building for 6 floors. Permission is only for 3, but he is constructing 6 floors. Even as a community responsibility, even we are not fulfilling our responsibility. See, somebody would have gone to the office and would have given complaint to the administration. Even they did not do. So even improper handling of community responsibility. So even they don't have a proper monitoring facility. In particular area, they could have, just as in a village we have a Gram Panchayat, Gram Sabha, the similar arrangement, they could have voluntarily, they made some kind of Gram Sabha kind of arrangement, and they can go for a monitoring of whether builders in this region, they are fulfilling these laws, regulations or not. They could have done it. Here, even community responsibility, even they are not handling their responsibility, right? And then one side it is community responsibility, and imagine there are people know that, people are aware of it. Even I know that this builder is breaking a rule, but I am not going to the office, I am not writing any letter to the administration, because there is a lack of fortitude, there is a lack of courageousness. I don't have that moral courage, because I fear that if builder got to know that I am the one who has given a complaint, then it might create trouble for me, it might create trouble for my family. So the lack of fortitude to question the misuse and manipulation of law. And another thing is, the laborers, they themselves are not aware of the labor rights. There is a lack of awareness regarding labor rights, and also in our country the building codes, they are outdated. Modern times, every 10 years new technologies are coming, and according to this technology, the building codes are not updating. So outdated building codes, that is another reason. And these builders and the construction, they are mainly focusing on profitability, and they are ignoring the safety procedure. This is also a reason these kind of incidents are happening again and again in the country. And finally, political patronage. Even though if there are no direct involvement of politicians, still there are significant vote bank. Vote bank is over welfare of the people. we had in the section A we were discussing vote bank politics that is over the welfare of the people, so that takes the precedent. Here they are significant voters, significant vote base, and you don't want to disturb your vote bank politics, you don't want to disturb their core vote bases, core voters. So what you do is you are giving that political pattern. The indirect support is there for these kind of builder, these kind of construction, illegal construction. So political patronage to illegal construction for electoral gains. So these are the reasons behind these kind of incidents, right? And then let's see the measures to prevent their occurrence. So what are the measures? Suggest some measures to prevent these kind of occurrence here. See, what I want to tell you is these are the fodder material, use this material, but you have to write much more than that. These are answers for 10 markers, and this question here in this examination, it is 20 marker question. Sometimes it comes for 25 marks also, 200 words or 250 words. There you have to extend it, you have to expand, you have to add different perspective also. As a fodder material, just for the sake of understanding, I am giving these point-wise pointers here, right? Now let's see the measures to prevent these kind of occurrences, to avoid, what are the measures to avoid these kind of disaster in future. See, I told you that there is a weak implementation of law, there is non-compliance. Now how do you make implementation is proper? How do you make people are going to follow the law, the compliance factor? The first and foremost thing here is that you use the tools and techniques. Now there are modern tools, you have a GPS, you have these online monitoring, use these tools and techniques. This is one thing. You use artificial intelligence, you use drone surveillance. You don't have to go, you don't have to visit to every builder or every street. It is not possible also, but you can use this online monitoring, you can use this artificial intelligence. This is one thing. And the second thing is legal enforcement. I told you that neither builders are following legal aspect nor people are also questioning it. So strengthening the legal enforcement, that should be there. So when there is a strong legal enforcement factor is there, both at the builder as well as the from the implementation side and the following side, both the sides they are going to stick on to the regulation. And also modernize the building code. See, outdated building code is also another reasons for these kind of disasters. So there is a responsibility on government, on administration to modernize this building code. And also there should be a fear factor. See, in the reasons we told that people, they are not following the law, there is a non-compliance aspect is there because there is no fear factor. So here implementation, when you have a strict legal enforcement, then also create a fear factor. Fear factor in a democratic way, fear factor by hefty fines, harsher punishment, make sure that everyone follow the rules, because here the collapse of building, it is directly going to impact the lives of the people. Here women have died, children have died without their mistake. So these things should not happen. So that is the reason we want very strong hefty fines. We need a harsher punishment if somebody crosses these don't follow this kind of regulation. And also you can go for a vigilance mechanism, independent vigilance mechanism, autonomous, independent, because most of the bodies, statutory bodies, these kind of vigilance mechanisms in our country, there is a political backing. Even for the appointment, transfer, everything dependent on the political leadership. But vigilance bodies should always be neutral, should always be autonomous. There should be independence factor should. So that has to be maintained. And another thing is, you can go for a citizen portal. See, I told you that in the reasoning there is a lack of moral courage, there is a lack of fortitude. So see, I don't want to go to the public office to complain against the builder. So I am afraid of my security, I am afraid of my family security. So what is the option here? You open a citizens portal. Maybe internet, even just through the one online web page, you can open a citizen portal. And if any citizens find there is a breaking of law, breaking of a regulation, they can take a picture, they can upload it. So this is also one of the easiest way to know where exactly breaking of law is happening. So citizen portal, citizens, they can be part of this awareness program here. So they are going to realize where the violation is happening and they are going to raise their concern through the citizen portal. And also if there are whistleblowers, you have to protect the whistleblowers also. So, and if there are any exploitation is labor happens, if whistleblowers raising their voice regarding exploitation of laborers, exploitation and illegal construction, you have to protect these whistleblowers also. Give that protection, whether it is legal protection or the financial protection, financial security, or any other matter, for anything, you have to give the protection to the whistleblowers. And finally, public awareness should be there. Public awareness regarding what? Safe building practices and dangers of illegal construction. You use the social media influencers or TV serials, movies. Make sure that people are aware of these mishappenings of these illegal construction, and you have to let them know the safe building practices. And finally, ensure the mandatory safety training for all construction workers. Even construction workers should also be aware of their rights. Construction worker should go through with the safety training also, like you have to wear a headgear, you have to wear a safety gloves. These kind of safety procedures, safety equipments, there should be an accessibility and they should follow it. So these are some of the measures you can implement to prevent these kind of mishappenings in future, right? And we have a final, the last case study. Pause it and go through with it. I'll be back. This case study talks about, see, you are a public information officer. So your duty is that if somebody files a RTI, you have to give the information. So that is your duty, public information officer. Now you notice something. People are they are asking for all this information, unnecessary information. They are asking for unnecessary information. The intention is to trouble the administration. The intention is to extort money from the decision makers. So that is the reason unwanted, unnecessary, frivolous RTA applications have been filed, and you observed it as a public information officer. Now the situation is that this is impacting the administrative very badly. Now how do you deal with this situation? And another aspect is, see, these are non-genuine applications, but at the same time there are genuine applications also, and because of these unnecessary frivolous application, even genuine applications, genuine information, people who are expecting genuine information, even that is also being impacted here. Now how do you deal with this situation? This is the question here. So you are a public information officer, then what measures you would suggest to separate genuine and non-genuine application? Give the merits and demerits to your suggestion. So this is the question here. So I will give 4 suggestions and we'll see the merits and demerits here. So you are a PIO, then what are the suggestions you are going to give? The first suggestion is, you have to create an independent autonomous body, and this body is going to decide which application is genuine and which application is non-genuine. This is the first option. See, already we have a State Information Commission, Central Information Commission, we have these kind of bodies, but the thing is they are going to take care of very larger aspect, not about these small incident or genuineness of RT application. They cannot handle it. For that you need autonomous small independent bodies, maybe on a particular, for every district you can have this kind of autonomous body. This is my first suggestion. What are the merits and demerits here? The merits is that these are autonomous body, independent body, and they maintain that neutrality in the decision making. They are going to distinguish which applications are genuine, which applications are non-genuine. So they are going to maintain that neutrality in the decision making. And the second thing is, this is going to support the genuine request, and this is going to discourage unnecessary applications. Unwanted unnecessary applications can be eliminated with the help of independent autonomous bodies. What are the demerits here? Demerits is that it goes against the provision of Act. See, Act itself has given me right that I can ask for the information, and Act has not put any criteria that how many applications you can file. There is no restriction, and if you create these kind of body to distinguish, then it goes against the provision Act. Act itself is giving me right, I can file 1 application or 100 application, but creating this body to eliminate these RTA application goes against the provision of the Act. So this is one thing, one demerit. And another demerit is applying for RTA information, applying for public information. This is my right, and if you are restricting it by creating a body, this is compromising my legal right. So these are the demerits, merits and demerits with respect to autonomous body. And the next is that maintain the database of frivolous applicants. So you know that there are a certain number of people, they intentionally file these kind of unnecessary RTA applications. So you make a list of these applicants, these are usually you have to give your Aadhaar number also. So make a database and keep data of all these people who are intentionally disturbing the administration. So maintain the database of frivolous application. What is the merit here? Merit is that it is easy screening process, right? It is, you can easily distinguish that okay, this person is a notorious one, he is the one who is involving in all these activities. You can screen at the entry level only. But the demerit is that if a person get to know that they are doing this screening, finding a proxy, it is not a big deal. I am filing application, 100 application in my name, and when I get to know that I am not getting any reply, then I realize that okay, they are doing a screening. So they are keeping my application as a non-genuine application. Now what do? I will find a proxy, and through the proxy I will find a RTA application. So it is very simple. So another demerit. Now the third suggestion is that maintaining transparency and place social audit reports online. Maintaining transparency, this is for government departments, government bodies. The public information, every public information should be in their website, so that you don't have to file separate RTA information to get that information, since already it is posted online. So this transparency has to be maintained. So this is one thing. And second, the merit of this maintaining transparency is that necessary information will be there. So I get the information just visiting the website, I don't have to file the RTA. So this is one merit. And another thing is, see, I want particular information, I got this information, and another person also wants the same information. So it is like PIO, he is giving all redundant information. So but if you maintain this transparency, if you post everything online, we are going to get that information on the website only. It is no necessary to file a RTA application. So these are the merit. So it is going to avoid redundant application and reduce the burden on PIO. But what are the demerits here? Demerits here is that it is not going to address the issue. Why? The reason is, I want to trouble the administration. My intention is to trouble the administration. My intention is to extract money from the administrator. When my intention is wrong, whatever transparency you maintain, I will find a loophole and I will again trouble the administration. So this is also not going to remove or address this issue completely. This is demerit. And finally, penalties for a misuse of act. Okay, this also act as a barrier, obstacle for the misuse of act. This is merit, fine. But what is the demerit? Demerit is that how do you find the misuse of act? So who is going to find it? What are the criteria you use it? That is the question. So how do you find it? What are the mechanism? It is not that easy. I say that this is my legal right, and PIO, you have to give the information I ask for, whether I apply one application or whether I apply 500 applications. This is your responsibility. So how do you find the misuse? That is one thing. Another thing is, who will be the deciding authority? CIC, SIC, they cannot come and decide the authority. PIO cannot the deciding authority. Again, this is going to create more question. This is going to create more clumsy situation here. So these are the demerits. So there are 4 recommendations I have given. Every recommendation has 2 merit, 2 demerits, right? So this is it, guys. And this covers section B of 2017. So today we covered both section A and section B. Section A with respect to theoretical part, and the section B it is with respect to case studies. So 2017 paper is also done. Next we'll take up the 2018 paper also. Once we finish all the papers, previous year's question paper, we are going to release the booklet also, the PYQ solved, ethics PYQ solved, starting from 2013 to 2020-24, or maybe exam finishes before that, will include the 2025 paper also. So most probably within one and a half months the booklet will be out. And thank you so much for the support. I'll see you guys in the next video, 2018 paper. Most probably tomorrow or day after we are going to upload the video. Thank you so much and have a good time.